She needs to be on a better team, and she needs to be more experienced.
Is there a world where the Indiana Fever are just trying to keep their core together? Some of them are going overseas, so maybe in this scenario, just kind of taking a step back from all the drama, letting everything kind of cool down. Maybe it is a good thing that Caitlin Clark isn't playing in a...
Pulled the blunder of the century, now whining about Caitlin Clark's blockbuster move to Europe like they still control her every step. After months of mocking her, Clark finally made her own call, forcing ESPN to invent slick excuses that twist unrivaled into unavailable. Let them grovel, rant, or stomp their feet. Clark's over it. She's packed her bags and isn't looking back. Unlike the so-called geniuses running the WNBA, Clark actually knows her value and her worth. She's far too smart to sit there taking hits from a league that can't even protect its top star. Honestly, why would she stay when she can soar somewhere that actually respects her?
She's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me. And opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said. That is what she said, okay?
Players mocked her. Referees turned blind eyes. And critics, stunned that she kept this collapsing circus alive alone, attacked her instead of admitting she was the only thing.
What I am upset about is like, hey man, your meal ticket is under constant attack. There's been dirty plays all season.
Everyone's absolutely losing it now that she's realized she's worth way more than being the WNBA's beaten down cash cow. Sorry, ESPN. Your golden goose just flew the coop, leaving behind a giant empty nest of missed chances. It's almost hilarious watching ESPN suddenly act like it cares about Caitlin Clark's jaw-dropping decision and her big jump to Europe. After carrying an entire league on her back all season, taking brutal fouls, and getting body-checked like she was in a hockey match instead of basketball, Clark has finally had enough of the WNBA's circus act. She's walking away, leaving broken egos and crushed hopes behind. And honestly, who could possibly blame her for finally walking free?
This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie.
You see, this isn't just some player changing jobs. It's a full-blown sports soap opera. While her teammates fumbled through a comedy of disasters, bricking easy shots and making blunders that would make a high school coach scream, she carried the entire Connecticut Sun alone. And what did the WNBA do? Oh, nothing. They just watched as refs turned her into a punching bag. Fans came for basketball, not a cage match. Yet every game with Caitlin Clark turned into one.
Caitlin Clark was assaulted yesterday in her very first playoff game in the WNBA.
ESPN's experts woke up and realized they'd been milking a gold mine without noticing. Before Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever could barely scrape together 3,000 fans, more backyard barbecue than Big League. But once she showed up, boom, 177,000 fans packed in, a jaw-dropping 400% explosion.
Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,035 at home, 15,000 on the road. Attendance for the entire league up nearly 50% this year, according to data from across the timeline. And Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of, like I said, of 17,035.
How's that for impact? They didn't just have a star. They had a once-in-a-generation spectacle. But sure, let's keep pretending team equality matters more than celebrating the one legend who single-handedly dragged the WNBA into the spotlight.
If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl, milk!
Let's not even start on the record-breaking sales. Caitlin Clark's jersey outsold every name in league history. Yes, even icons like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. Imagine that, a rookie eclipsing Hall of Famers. Legendary. She transformed the WNBA into must-see TV, turning every game into a national happening. And yet, did ESPN ever treat her like the megastar she is? Of course not. They shrugged, handed her bland coverage, and now they're scrambling to pretend they didn't completely miss the moment. Sorry, ESPN, you slept on your own headline.
She needs to be on a better team, and she needs to be more...
Numbers, shall we? Even with her gone, those empty seats scream louder than the crowd. Sure, that New York Liberty matchup pulled 1.5 million viewers, more than a few. NBA games on TNT. Yet clueless ESPN and their Jersey experts can't figure out how they botched the easiest win in sports TV history. Now they're all tripping over themselves to spotlight Caitlin Clark, the same star they ignored, as she packs her bags and bolts for Europe.
The truth is finally coming to the light. The same light that is going to be dimming here in about 12 hours when Caitlin Clark is eliminated from the playoffs.
7 every time Caitlin Clark laced up. It was like stepping into a street brawl, not a basketball game. She wasn't playing. She was surviving punches, shoves, and elbows, the full cheap shot menu. And what did the league do? Absolutely nothing. Picture being the breakout star, the franchise face, and still getting treated like the WNBA's favorite punching bag.
It's important that we point this out. One of the things that I brought up this morning in talking about Caitlin Clark is that some of the players, you want to use the word jealousy, fine. You want to use the word envy, fine. You want to use the word resentment. We want to play with words. That's cool.
And if you actually watched her games, it looked like the refs were starring in See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Caitlin Clark was getting physically mauled out there and even admitted it felt like she was being beaten. And the WNBA's response? Oh, just another Tuesday. The infamous eye poke moment should have been a wake-up call, but instead, the league cracked a blind eye joke, basically normalizing the idea that a star player being bullied is business as usual.
And this woman swats at the basketball and somehow decides to turn her hand down and her fingernail and jab him right into the eye of Caitlin.
Emotional toll? Unimaginable. Every missed call, every cheap hit chips away at you. You grind to lift your team, only to end up feeling exposed and scolded for daring to be great. Give me a break. The league and its loyal media cheerleaders botched this so badly it's still unraveling. And now they're scrambling to fix the mess they created.
During the first 2 minutes of the first round playoff game of the Connecticut Sun versus the Indiana Fever, Dejanay Carrington poked Caitlin Clark in the eye. Caitlin fell to the ground. She was holding her face. The refs did not call a foul. They didn't call a flagrant foul. The play continued. But now a lot of people online are asking for the WNBA to review this play because as multiple angles have come out of this play, it seems like it might have been.
But wait. Things really took a wild turn when Alyssa Thomas chimed in, hinting at racial bias among fans. She claimed Caitlin Clark's fame had more to do with skin tone than skill. And how did ESPN respond? By stirring the pot instead of cooling it.
All just misguided over-hatred of Caitlin Clark. And pointing the finger at those guys, they're the racists, when really, y'all are the racists. The people coming up with excuses to hate Caitlin Clark and the new fan base that she brought.
Instead of celebrating her record-shattering feats, they twisted Caitlin Clark's achievements into some racial think piece. Seriously, she was out there dropping records, crossing ankles, and carrying an entire franchise, and they turned it into a race debate. And of course, ESPN ran with it like it was breaking news.
It's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. Where we had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it.
How did Caitlin Clark respond? By standing firm, reminding everyone her success came from grit and grind. Not some imaginary racial storyline. But the fact she even had to clarify that says everything about today's warped media lens. And of course, instead of backing off, ESPN doubled down, because subtlety clearly isn't their thing.
And so I sit here, she's got 14,000 followers. And it's really easy to ignore, and most people don't know who she is in the sports world. The only reason why people even know who she is because of Caitlin Clark. And she still only got 14,000 followers on Twitter. She doesn't have much of a brand.
How's the public taking all this? They could have crowned Caitlin Clark as the league's next phenomenon, because, spoiler alert, she is. But instead, they built a narrative that drags her reputation through the mud. Instead of giving her the respect she's earned, the WNBA keeps fumbling, turning itself into a sideshow. And please, let's skip the inclusive league speech. Clark has worked her heart out and doesn't deserve this circus. The league that preached opportunity and equality completely forgot to protect its biggest treasure.
Your biggest star, your meal ticket, the reason why you have relevancy, just got stabbed and assaulted and nothing.
The WNBA and ESPN are about to face the fallout from ignoring the one woman who turned their snooze fest into primetime gold. They fumbled the bag, and now they're stuck watching Caitlin Clark pack her bags and take her unmatched talent and all that spotlight to a league that actually knows her worth. She's jetting off to Europe, and suddenly everyone's pretending they always believed in her. Too bad they realized it way too late. The WNBA could have built an empire around Caitlin Clark, making her the shining face of the league. But no, they dropped the ball spectacularly. Now their brightest star has walked away, and ESPN is scrambling to rewrite history, pretending this disaster wasn't entirely self-inflicted. They let a once-in-a-generation phenom slip right through their fingers, and now they're left empty-handed. Best of luck to Caitlin Clark in Europe, where her brilliance will finally be valued, and where she won't be battered every game while clueless officials just look the other way. So, what's next for ESPN and the WNBA? Maybe this disaster will finally snap them out of their delusion, because right now, they're the punchline of a joke they accidentally wrote themselves. Chaos is about to erupt at ESPN once Caitlin Clark boards that flight to Europe, along with the golden ratings they took for granted. Once she's gone, the WNBA will be staring into a massive void, one nearly impossible to fill. They could have built an empire around her brilliance, but instead they're left scrounging for scraps, hyping players who can't even touch her level. Clark single-handedly boosted sales, viewership, and relevance for a league that desperately needed a miracle just to stay afloat. Players like her come once in a generation, and when they do, you treat them like royalty, not run them into the ground. ESPN blew it, the WNBA blew it, and now they'll pay the price for their arrogance. This isn't just a loss, it's a full-blown catastrophe. So enjoy Europe, Caitlin Clark. You've earned it. You're heading somewhere that values you, far away from this circus of wasted potential.